Hello guys, am I audible? Okay, students, so here we are with the board paper analysis that is for your communicative. And I hope that the exam was easy for all of you. If you guys have studied it well, you guys have enjoyed it well. How was the paper for all of you? Did you guys enjoy it or was that difficult or easy? How was the examination, people? How was it? Okay, so let me move ahead with the analysis. So this is your question paper design. You know very well that the reading was for 20 marks and your writing and grammar was for 30 marks and literature was for 30 marks, right? I hope that you guys did well. And now here comes your difficulty level of questions. So we found that easy questions were only 4 this time, and average questions were 6 and difficult question was only 1. So we found that the 32.5% of questions were easy, while average number of questions were 62.5% and difficult questions were 5. Okay, let's move ahead now. So here a comparison is given for you guys between 2018 and 2019. Easy number of questions in 2018 were 54.54% and average were 27.27% and difficult were 18.18%. While in 2019, it is 32.5%. That is the number of questions that were easy were 32.5%. Average number of questions was 62.5%. And difficult number of questions were only 5. Here a chart is given, a comparison is given right in front of you for your reference, which says that easy questions as in this year, that is, this year your easy questions were, you can say like 33% of questions were easy, and you can easily see from the chart that how many questions are there, right? Now let's look at the analysis of the paper, like the pattern wise thing and the difficulty level. Pattern wise, there was no change. It was same as it was given the previous year. Difficulty level was easy. Time constraint was again easy. It wasn't a lengthy paper. And the questions were from your NCERT book itself, and mostly you will you must have found that there were indirect questions that were there in your examination, right? Okay, so here are the questions that are given. So overall, the paper was an average kind of a paper. It was not really tough, neither it was very easy. There were questions that were quite indirect. Okay, so I hope that you guys have done that well. For reading comprehension, it was really very easy. A part of Milkha Singh's autobiography was given and you were supposed to answer from that. I hope that you were able to do that easily. So an internal choice was also given over there. There were 8 questions that were given on the basis of the passage. You had to attempt, there were 9 questions and you had to attempt any 8. Okay, so that was an easy part, as in how many people had flown earlier. This was easily mentioned in the passage. And why did he pray to God? This was also easily given. So you could have easily located the answers in your question paper. Identify and name the figure of speech in para 1. So what exactly was given in your para 1? This is what I had told you in the sessions that I had taken, that you were supposed to talk about, I mean, you were supposed to study your vocabulary and all the figures of speeches related things. So the question has been, this was something that was different, that was asked this year. Usually they do not ask for figure of speeches in your reading comprehension. So I hope that you guys were able to do that well. It was related to your simile. The answer for this thing is your simile. Okay, I have provided the answers for your references as well, so that you can go through it later. All the answers have been given here. Okay, figure of speech and everything. Now the next thing that was there is next passage. It was also very easy. It wasn't a difficult thing at all. It was talking about your peer pressure. So that is something common. You guys must have even heard about it a lot. So this was easy again, and on the basis of the reading you had to answer. So you must have found that an internal choice was given to you in a very proper manner. Okay, so the first question was talking about how can changing ways of life of our peers affect us. So it was directly given in the very beginning of the passage. Again, what needs courage? This was also very easy. I've provided the answers easily, and state any two characteristics of teenage. This was again a very easy thing. So on the basis of your reading of the passage, fill in the blanks was given. This was the direct statement that you could have filled in the given blank. And then came your questions that were related to vocabulary. Okay, so I hope that that was also cool with all of you. I've provided the answers. Just check them later. And moreover, all the answers would be live. I mean, all the answers are live on Meditation site, so you can check them as well. All the answers are given here. You can refer them. Okay, so let's move ahead now. Okay, so now we are coming to the next section, which is your section B. Section B was very easy this time. It wasn't difficult at all. It was really very direct. So in the very first question, you had your letter that you had to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of ban on crackers. Second was your story writing. This was again easy. I hope that you guys have followed the format well, because you are supposed to get the marks for your format. And moreover, you have kept the presentation to be very neat and clean. You have not sophisticated the language. You have kept the language simple and in a very nice manner. This was so easy. This was an easy stuff. All right. So here the format is given. This was a formal letter. So you were supposed to write subject. As I said that you are supposed to talk about the, you are supposed to focus on the format of it, right? Then we had this, your story thing. I hope that you have maintained the word limit for the same, because maintaining the word limit is really very good. Now we are coming to the another thing. I think that all the questions were very easy for you. Here, fill in the blanks was really very easy. It wasn't difficult at all. Scoring marks here was a very easy concept for all of you, right? All the questions were easy. Then came your omission and editing. Omitting part. I hope that you have done it properly. For this, you must be scoring 4 marks for sure. All right, an answer has been given here. You can refer that later on. Then your jumbled sentences are given. Jumbled sentences was quite a tough task for you. I mean, it wasn't really tough. But again, if you find it to like collect all the words, the scattered words easily, as in that if you find it difficult to collect all the scattered words, then you might have found it difficult. Otherwise, it was really an easy. So in the entire paper, your section A, B, and C, out of these 3 sections, section B was the one that was the easiest this time. Okay. I hope that you guys score well in this. These are the answers. And this here comes your section C, which is your communicative part. So RTC was given, this was from your drama, as I had said to you in the earlier sessions that RTC could have been asked from any of the chapters, any of the dramas, or any of the poetries in your examination. So you were obviously supposed to read everything. So whosoever had studied well should have definitely sailed through this question. Okay. So the question one was talking about the identify the speaker of the above extract, which is very easy. That is Caesar, who was bending, praying, and fawning. This was also a direct question. It was not a tough task. What was tough in this particular extract was that you were supposed to identify the speaker, which was a hard task. I hope that you guys did that well. Then again, this RTC, again, this was like completely a different thing for all of you. And I hope that you guys did this well. Okay. Then your question number 2, you were given 5 questions, out of which you had to attempt any of the 4, right? So these questions were quite indirect. They were not direct questions. So I hope that you guys were able to do that properly. Why did the sailor hail the albatross in God's name? This was not something direct. Moreover, why was John Hellock eager to burn the Ouija board? This was quite a direct question. I hope that, see, the questions were very simple. They were just molded a little. Okay. So I hope that you guys have actually did it well. This was quite scoring. And I hope that you guys have maintained the word limit as well. Moreover, the first question, that is why was Nicola not willing to share his plans with the narrator, was even answered at the Magnesian site at the Ask and Answer portal. Okay. So these were the easy things. I've given the answers. You can refer them later. Then came your question number 3, which was for 100 and 120 words, as in you can say the 10th question basically. For Mrs. Slater and Mrs. Jordan, greed for money is more important than their love for their father. So in a way, what you had to do in this question is that you had to focus on the character sketches of Mrs. Slater and Mrs. Jordan. Okay. By maintaining the word limit to be 100 to 120 words. And moreover, what they have done this time is that they have made it clear that this question was asked from the dear departed in case anybody had any doubt regarding it. Okay. In what sense can we call Michael a true gentleman? This was from virtually true. So this was an easy thing. You could have easily framed the answer if you had read the chapters carefully in the book. Then you came your last question, that is your question number 11. This was for 200 to 250 words. So an internal choice, a fair internal choice was given in it. I hope that you guys were able to do it correctly. First question was, in the diary of a young girl, what opinion did Anne have of the adults who lived in the annex? This was such a direct question. I had told you when I was taking the session that an incident-based question and a question on character sketch would be asked in your examination. So if you had paid a proper attention to my words, you must have studied well, then you must have been able to do that well. Because in these 4 questions, what do we find? That character sketches have also been asked. Second question says, attempt a character sketch of Mrs. Edith Frank as described in the diary of a young girl. And then the last question was again, a character sketch of Miss Anne Sullivan. So you found that, well, as in that you must have seen that questions were literally direct in case of your novels. They were not tough. You could have easily sailed through this question if you had followed my advice of doing the character sketches and the incident-based questions in the novel. All right, guys. All the answers have been provided for your references over here. Just go through them so that you can judge yourself that how well did you perform in your examination. Okay, guys? Okay, so we are done with the analysis of the paper. That is your communicative set 1. I've dealt with the set 1. And all the other answers for the other sets will be live soon. So you can refer them later on. So overall, the paper was not very tough. You can score marks very well if you have formed the sentences correctly, if you have followed the formats correctly. And if you have paid attention to the presentation of the paper properly, then you must definitely be scoring 90 and above for that. Okay, so now we are coming to the analysis of the English literature, language and literature. So section A here was very easy. You must have seen that question as in a long passage was given to you. On the basis of that, some questions were given to you. So answering all the questions was easy. It wasn't a tough task. There were the direct things that were there given in the passage itself. Okay, guys. Then the second passage came. It was also easy. It wasn't a tough task, as in that it was basically talking about your limbs, poison and non-poisonous things, hunting animals. It was basically talking in the context of the poison in relation of animals, right? So I hope that you guys were able to do that easily. And here again, your fill in the blanks were given to you, and in that also internal choice was provided. So I hope that that went well. And again, a vocabulary based question was asked. So the pattern was almost same as was given in the communicative. It's just that the number, as in the entire syllabus, changes, but the thing remains the same, as in the pattern is quite same. This was talking about the fact that you were supposed to write a letter to the editor. I hope that you have followed the format in a correct manner. The here came your article. Here you had to be very precise about the word limit, and it was really very easy, it was talking about a topic that I guess you guys are very much familiar with, that is your importance of outdoor games in the life of a teenager, right? Now your question number 2 was talking about your story writing again. I hope that you have given a very suitable title to it. Moreover, you have framed the story correctly. If you have framed the story correctly by using all the hints that are given, and moreover, if you have framed the answers by looking at the tense formations, by following the punctuations, conjunctions, adverbs, and everything in a correct manner, obviously you're going to score marks here as well. All right, this was also very easy. On Sunday, I was watching TV. Suddenly, I heard people shouting outside. What can be easy than this? You can obviously frame story after this, right? Then your question number 3 was dealing with your fill in the blanks. You had to choose from the option, as in the most appropriate options that were given. I hope that you guys were able to do this. Okay, so again, here there was an error in communicative. We found that an omission was given. Here there was an error. It was very, very easy. And here your section C came. Again, an extract was given to you. You were supposed to answer on the basis of that. So an extract was given to you from the prose section. As I've been stressing this, as in that I had mentioned it, that a prose can be given to you from any of, as in an extract or an RTC can be given from anywhere in the syllabus that is being prescribed. So you should have paid attention to everything. What was there? It is really very easy. What can be more direct than this question? Okay, so overall the paper was easy. It wasn't a tough task. Communicative, as in your language and literature part, was something that was quite direct. In communicative, we found that it wasn't direct, while in language and literature, it was quite direct. As in this question, how did Kisagotami realize that life and death is a normal process? This was such an easy question, and it was direct as well. All right. Then came your second last question, which is talking about Bholi is a child different from others. The difference makes her an object of neglect and laughter. Elaborate. So this is something that you could have summarized the entire chapter in a very precise manner. All right. And you should have followed the word limit in this as well. But what exactly it is talking about? In this very answer, you had to write the character sketch of Bholi. Okay, so I hope that you guys did that well. And in the poem for Annie Gregory conveys that we should give importance to the inner beauty and not to the physical appearance. This is what exactly the theme of this particular poem is, right? This is the crux of this particular poem is for Annie Gregory. So I hope that this was very much relatable to each one of you, and you guys were able to do it correctly. You had to elaborate it with reference to the poem, which was actually this very idea that is mentioned in the question itself, which says that we should give importance to the inner beauty and not the physical appearance. This is what exactly is given in the entire poem. So I hope that you guys were able to do that correctly. Then last came your questions that was from your novel. So the question is talking about how did Kitty help Annie overcome her loneliness? This is what exactly the entire diary of a young girl is all about. Kitty is something that what is Kitty? Kitty is basically, she refers it to her diary. So she had got her diary on her birthday. So from that day on, it was her friend. Okay, so I think that this was so easy. You must have done it correctly. What is the main theme of a diary of a young girl? It was such an easy thing. Nothing can be more direct than this question. The best and most beautiful things in the world can't be seen or even touched. They must be filled with the heart, justify the famous quote of Helen Keller. You could have easily taken the instances from the chapter through the characters that, for example, Dr. Bell that she has come across. So there were things that she was learning through her senses, right? So this is what can be easily, as in this could have been easily attempted by all of you. Helen had a great love for animals and birds. Write about this aspect of a character. This was really visible in the entire novel. If you guys had gone through the novel, you could have easily done that correctly. Okay. So I hope, guys, that you guys have done this perfectly and this went well. I hope that you guys score well in this examination and you prepare well for your upcoming examination as well. All right, guys. So all the best for your upcoming examination. Do well. Have a very great time ahead. Bye-bye and see you to all of you guys. Thank you for attending the session. See you guys.